this morning when I was scrolling Twitter, by the way, wouldn't recommend waking up and just scrolling Twitter. Bandai Namco Esports put out a bunch of information for the finals, but what caught my eye, aside from the actual useful, travel tips, was this graphic at the end that described the format. I saw this and I put my phone down. Do you see? Let me move. Do you see this? I looked at this and I said, this is a problem for Fee like 4 hours from now. So I took a moment to look at it and took like a deep dive, and I think I understand it enough to kind of talk about it. So let's take a look at this in depth. So the finals are going to be multiple phases like they are every year. There's going to be group stages, and then the actual finals day is also going to be multiple phases. So what I have here is the finals format. I have the current leaderboard on the right. Let's just start from the far left. Let's keep it as simple as possible. The regional leaderboard, okay? Just the left side. One player from each region. There are 15 regions. I have the notes on the, below me here. 3 groups of 5 players, top 2 from each group. That means 6 finalists. Okay, 6 finalists will advance to the final bracket. They don't fight anybody in the global leaderboard. They don't go to the last chance qualifier unless they lose, right? So the last chance qualifier will be a tournament after the group stages where the losers from each of these will get a chance to re-qualify for the finals. But assuming everything goes well, 6 finalists from the regional leaderboard. Now let's look at the global leaderboard. This one is a bit more complicated, but I think they've made some improvements from last year, which is something that is exciting. Okay, global leaderboard. So these are the top 20 players in the world. They have been fighting for these ranked spots, the top 20 ranked spots all year. And that's who these guys are on the right. Ranks 1 through 4 directly qualify for round 2 in the finals. So this is objectively the best place to be, and they high-key earned it to be consistently beating other tournament touring pros in enough tournaments to be ranks 1 through 4. They deserve that benefit. That was one of the criticisms in the previous formats, is that people who are ranked high weren't really getting rewarded for this. So this is a really nice change for the new format. This is also where the graphic gets a little confusing. So let's look at ranks 5 through 20. They will fight in the group stage strictly against each other. They won't interact with the regional leaderboard. They won't interact with anybody else outside of the global leaderboard. The groups are 4 of 4. Okay, 4 groups, 4 players. Top 2 advance with a bye. So that means they are going to go to that round 2 spot that ranks 1 through 4 also go to. What's interesting this year is they still want to reward these guys a little more than the regional leaderboard. So 3rd place in each group goes to the redemption group. They listed that as group stage 2 over here. Okay. And in this final group, just one group of 4, they have a chance to make it to the final bracket once again. Okay. So all of these finalists will make it to day 2. However, the redemption group winner doesn't start with that bye. And we'll sort it out visually at the end of all this, okay? But just know that there are finalists who do get a bye and finalists who don't. The regional ones and the redemption group. That takes us to the last chance qualifier, okay? Every year there's a tournament, an open bracket tournament, where a certain amount of players at the top of this tournament get to qualify for the finals. This year, it's top 1 from the tournament. Last year, it was the top 2 from each tournament, and there were a bit of extra details there. But this year, it's back to top 1, and everybody who lost in the regional leaderboard phase and the global leaderboard phase can enter this tournament. So these guys aren't out if they lose their one chance in the regional leaderboard, or in the global leaderboard, there are multiple chances. They all get 2nd or 3rd or 4th chances in the LCQ. But only one person gets there. What is a bye? A bye is an advantage in the finals bracket. And a viewer put together a little visual representation that I'll pull up in a little bit. Okay. And then the finals day format, we do have some details on. So the finals day format is 20 finalists. If my math checks out here from all these parentheses, it should add up to 20. Round 1 is going to be 8 players, the ones without the bye. So it'll be the regional guys, the redemption group guy, and the LCQ guy. They will fight in round 1. That will funnel down to a top 16 bracket, and then it'll be a 1st to 2 bracket, and then top 8 will entirely be 1st to 3, and that is pretty exciting. Okay, so we've had all the ranks here on the right, just so you can reference who's there. That basically means Molgold, Arslan Ash, Atif, and Farzin. 3 Pakistanis and 1 Korean are instantly in the final phase. Let's pull up that little visualization. So Incross in the chat put this together. This is like what the bracket will probably look like unless we get more details or we have our information incorrect. So you can see that this time everybody's starting on the winner's side. This round 1 will be the qualifiers who don't get that bye. And then the official round 2 top 16 will start when this has funneled through. But I assume this isn't actually the top 16 just in this column here, this middle one. I think that they will also probably have to funnel through loser side a little bit. So it'll probably start right here in this third column, the upper bracket quarters. I think. We'll see more details, and we'll obviously see how the finals actually happen. I'm sure once we get closer to the date, we'll know more. I think that this format is an improvement from last year, but it's got a few issues. So obviously the best place to be is ranks 1 through 4, because you get that instant qualification to further in the bracket. I actually think the next spot to be that is the best is a bit of a toss-up. I think the regional leaderboard has a huge advantage this year because you're not fighting against the top 20 global players. You're competing against other regional specialists, and if you can run your game plan really fast, it's still a first to 2. If you can prep better than the other ones, then you have a significant advantage in getting to the finals, even though you start a round behind. The other best spot would probably be, obviously, ranks 5 through 20, just because you get multiple chances to make it to the finals before you go into the LCQ. And then the LCQ is the worst spot to be. It's the most intense tournament of the year. Everybody is extra sweaty trying to get that top 1 spot. So this place is not where I'd want to be. But I think the regional leaderboard has a huge advantage this year. And for reference, we should talk about last year. Last year, it was the global group stage sent 8 finalists. And there was no like redemption group stage or anything like that. There was also no direct qualification. Instead of giving extra rewards to the winners, they penalized the other people. And I think that's what made this last year's format so weird, because the regional finalists, after beating their groups, so they did the same separate group stage here, but after they qualified, they started on the loser's side of the bracket in day 2. And that felt kind of weird because it just meant they had one chance because of where they started. So it was a weird compromise where they didn't reward the global touring players, the global group stage. Instead, they punished the regional group stage and the LCQ, right? So the LCQ sent 2 people to the finals, but they also started on the loser side. So this year's format is a bit of an improvement in that they found a way to reward the global touring players by giving them a bit of an advantage in the next bracket without penalizing the other players. The downside that we have this year is it's so complicated to explain, like just trying to understand this graphic, but also I feel like being a regional finalist this year is really, really good. Like maybe a little too good. I don't know yet. I'm not the best analyst of competitive formats, but that's my gut reaction. And if people smarter than me may have better takes on this, and I'm down to be corrected, but that's my take so far, is that the regional leaderboard is a great place to be. And obviously ranks 1 through 4 is the absolute best. So yeah, the finals are happening on January 31st through February 1st, but the entire event is a 4-day event. So here, the day-by-day schedule: Thursday is the regional groups, Friday is the global groups, LCQ is on Saturday because they need the losers from these 2 groups to get there, and then Sunday is the big finals with everybody who's made it from the previous phases. It's interesting that the 2 group phases are only on stream. They're not doing any live seeding or anything like that. With the new coaching rules, I don't know how relevant that's going to be anyways. Like, you'll probably just bring your assigned coach and there's no like group of people. But part of the fun of competing in this space is having a bunch of people supporting you and things like that, especially if you have a region you're representing, you know? So it kind of sucks that it's stream only for the first 2 days, but I get that logistics may be difficult. I'm recording this on December 22nd, so that means the finals are a little over a month and a week away. Pretty excited for that. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of optimization on character specialists and different regional styles, especially on Thursday and Friday. And then the LCQ is always one of the most fun tournaments to watch every year. And then we'll hopefully get news on Season 3 and what may be coming next. I know that a lot of people, pros and casuals alike, are starving for patch changes. So if the finals wrap up and they decide that they are willing to do changes even with the EMEA Cup happening, that would be pretty sick. That would be what I would prefer. And just for completeness, here's the full list of everybody who's qualified through the global leaderboard and the regional leaderboard. So the regional leaderboard, some notable names: Nobi, Breadman, Usama Abbasi. He had a really, really good year. Victimo from NA, been touring around a ton throughout the United States to rack up the points. So that's a pretty exciting qualification. We saw Noel and Yondaime last year. And I'm personally excited to watch Yoreds, Ling Specialist from the Middle East, from Kuwait. Xmark had that big win over Arslan Ash and that really, really funny pop-off. And I did a video on that. That was fun. Xiaoling we also saw last year. So and Kostakis from Greece, I believe, Lars player. So a lot of repeat regional superstars that are kind of getting a second chance at the finals. And some newer faces as well, and some really, really good character specialists. So pretty excited to see this year's TWT finals. And, you know, even though season 2 is really rough competitively, it's great for us spectators. You know, we get to watch and see upsets and see people pull out really character unique plays that can catch people off guard. For how much season 2 has done a lot in terms of raising the variance in this game, it also does reward character specific and matchup specific knowledge a lot. So that's one of the things I am actually looking forward to watching these finals. Anyways, thanks for watching this update. This graphic really almost ruined my morning, but I'm glad we kind of get it now. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Like and comment if you made it this far. Subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.